Hello everyone, Neo Rashi here. Um, as I mentioned yesterday, today is where I start my new series. Well, it's not really a series because um, I don't know when I'm gonna do the next episode. It's definitely one of those. I'll do it whenever I want. Although I'm probably gonna do the next episode soon because I already have a good idea of what I want to talk about. So basically, Uh, this isn't much. This is just me rambling about how I not just discovered, but how I started to really appreciate certain manga and anime series. And for my first, um, um, I'm not going to going with something that's too obvious, like Laid Back Camp or Laid Back Camp, which is my favorite series of all time, or New Game, which was like one of the most important series in that contributed to me going back into anime full time. Well, mostly manga. I'm going to start with a series that I'm actually starting only really recently, and that is the Order of Rabbit. Um, This series is a series that I heard about for the first time quite a long time ago, almost 4 years ago. It was all the way in 2021, like early 2021. This is the first time I've heard about this series. Um, I've heard it shortly after I created my, which was back then a laid back camp Discord server, which is still up today. It's super quiet, but still up. Um, and shortly after I created the server, I expanded the server into a more unfocused Iyashike server in general. And at some point, I added more series to be featured on the server. At first, it was Laid Back Camp, Nanan Biori, and Encouragement of Climb. And then I added other stuff. I think I added Super Cub at some point. And the sixth series that was added, or the sixth series overall, was Is the Order Rabbit. It was a request made by my co-admin at this time because I'm suck at Discord. I can like moderate, but I cannot do bots and stuff for shit. So I asked a young kid, actually, he's like 18 years younger than I am, to help me with the bots, and he agreed. And at some point, he requested that I had this series into my server, which, even though I didn't know about it, I agreed. And this is where I started to uh, get interested into some of the character, because there's a couple of series that I have not watched or read, but I somehow still like the character, like Watamote. I really like the main character, Tomoko. I think it was Tomoko her name. Um, Same for Wataten. I really like Miyane, the main, like the older main character. And Kinero Mosaic, I really like Karen, but I've never watched or read any of these series. And this was basically the situation with Is the Order Rabbit. Um, so in 2022 is where I started to get even more interested into the series. At first, I only really liked Cocoa, but in 2022 I got started to get interested into Chino. Actually, for a while, I changed my username on Discord for Neo Chino. I usually on Discord my username is always Neo and whoever is on my profile pic. Right now, as of when I'm recording this, my name is Neo Maya Juga. I'll talk about that a bit later. And if you watch this on the day I'm uploading this or soon after uploading this, you'll see that my current profile pic on YouTube is Maya from the same series. So for about 2 years from there, I really only again I was only interested in Cocoa and Chino, and I started to get interested into Rize as well. But this was basically it for 2 years. I watched a couple clips of the anime on YouTube, like some of the funny clips and stuff like that. But I never really got invested into the series until 2024, when was it when Yen Press announced that they would be taking over the official English translation, because some of you may or may not know, we actually got an official translation of Volume 1 only in digital, made by Salt Press, but Salt Press went under. I'll be right back. My cat is doing something I don't want. Sorry about that. I hate when he does that. Even more when he does that while I'm recording, but I digress. So yeah, I pre-ordered Volume 1 of the manga, and then August 2024 arrived, and this is where I went to Japan with my brother. Well, we didn't go together. We joined there. He lives like 4,000 kilometers away from me. He lives in Vancouver. I live in Quebec City, so complete opposite. So we joined there, and this is when I really started to get more and more interested into the series, especially when I found something that goes right up my alley, not as an anime fan, but as a PS Vita game collector. I found this game on PS Vita. It's a visual novel. It's called the title is actually in English, even though the game is entirely in Japanese. It is the Order Rabbit Wonderful Party. It's a visual novel that I believe focuses on the later part of season 1, the whole Chino birthday segment. So I got it for, including taxes, I think 3,000 yen. So basically 27 Canadian dollars. So I got it because even if I wasn't interested into the series at all, I would have gotten it because it was cheap, and I collect PS Vita games. I actually got in Japan, I actually got a box full of those. Well, not really box full, but yeah, I got like almost 10 games that I bought for super cheap. I played a bit. I got I think I got the Cocoa best ending, and last time I played, I was working on the Rize good ending. But anyway, and during my trip to Japan, I got a few more stuff from the series. The first being this. It's all cheap figurine. I got this cheap Cocoa in the pajama figurine. Also, I got this. I'm unfortunately broken parts of it, but I got this Rize figurine. She's supposed to have a mug and a cup, and yeah, I broke both of them. I still have the parts, but I broke them. But this was a cheap figurine, so I probably can order a new one online. It's probably gonna cost me like triple what I paid, but still. And I also got this Ciaro swimsuit. Actually, I didn't even know her name back then. This is how little I knew about the series for all these years. I knew she was a main character from the series, but I didn't even know her name. And on the last day the last full day at least I spent in Japan. I wandered around Akihabara with one of my friends that uh, well, one of my Discord friends. Uh, he was, or I think he's still in Japan. He was in Japan for a year, and so yeah, we decided to meet up. We actually met twice, and while hunting for more merch, I got this adorable Maya. Oops, this adorable Maya phone strap. It's usually it's attached to my bag, but right now I detached it for to show you. Um, so yeah, this is the point where Maya quickly became my favorite character of the series, and I hadn't watched it yet. It was now September 8th, I think, September 8th, 2024, and I hadn't watched the series yet. And um, yeah, this is basically when I started to really get interested into Maya because uh, I hadn't got a lot of info about the series, but I seen screenshot of Maya and she was like, "Oh my god, she's so adorable. She looks adorable," and she quickly became my favorite character. Even though, she became my favorite support character because at this time I was still more into Chino. But yeah, almost as soon as I got back home, a couple weeks later, I finally did something I should have done all the way in 2021 or maybe early 2022. I ordered all 3 seasons of the anime. Actually, I've only watched season one. Season one is open, but season 2 and 3 are still sealed. I'm not a huge anime watcher, so even if I'm a huge fan of a series, it's gonna take me a while to watch the anime. Um, okay, my cat was in the box of PS Vita games. Uh, so yeah, um, season one was really good. A little fan servicey at some points, um, but still, I mean, I shouldn't complain about fan service when I buy this kind of stuff. And finally, in October, I at last got the first volume of the manga, which, even though I said I've only started to get really interested into the series in 2021, I've actually, 2024, sorry, I've actually wanted to try this in 2021, but then I saw that the company that made that released the series in English, the original company, went under. So I'm not a huge fan of reading scans website. It's not just about the whole piracy thing. I just don't like reading books on the screen very much. So um, yeah, I try to avoid that. Uh, Obviously, sometimes I resort to reading those when a English or French translation is not available. Uh, but yeah, um, so since then, the series has quickly gone up in my rank of favorite series of all times. It actually by the time I finished season one and I've read volume one of the manga, it's actually gotten up to my tied for fifth place alongside New Game, which, as I mentioned here and in other videos, is my the reason why I got back into manga and animes. So yeah, uh, this is of all the series that I've really, really, really been interested into, not just curious, but really interested in, is The Order Rabbit is by far the one that took me the most time to really get into. Um, the other series that I was interested in usually took me a year or a year and a half to finally get into them, except Kinero Mosaic, which I've been interested in for 2 years now, and I think no, not Wataten. 8 Channel is also another series that I've been interested into for a while, but I haven't watched it. But other series like Teasing Master Takagi-san took me about a year to get interested into. I discovered the series in 2018, but I wasn't interested in it. It was when I saw like proper clips on YouTube that I finally got interested into the series. And in 2019, I've watched half the second season because I didn't know it was a second season on Netflix. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the first episode of My Story With. I'm only gonna call this series My Story With, and the name of the series. So yeah, this is what my story with Is the Order Rabbit was. Next episode is most likely going to be Laid Back Camp or New Game, since these are, even though Non Non Biyori is my second favorite series of all time, it's not as it's not as important in my story, if we can say, about how I got back into anime compared to Laid Back Camp or New Game. Although I might have something to say about Place Further Than the Universe as well, which is my third favorite series of all time, and this one is also one of the most important series. Not only one of my favorite series of all time, but one of my most important series in my life for other reasons, not just anime, but other probably more interesting reasons. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.